Warning. This content may be toxic for your consumption. Now, aside from your assumption, and what a lot of people like to use the word toxic for, do you guys not see the ostensible usage of this word? Maybe some of the weaponization or programmings behind this word, and people throw this shit out all willy-nilly, like as if they really know what the fuck they're actually fucking talking about, and throwing out these accusations towards either individuals or groups of people. And you hear a lot of just commentary in the same manner of just these overreactive people that say whatever the fuck because they're triggered by fill in the fucking blank, you know? Now, of course, on the positive side, there are proper usages for this, but so let's just break down the word toxic. What does that mean? Poisonous, something that's hazardous to the body, right? So what do you do when you detox, right? And what are the symptoms of detoxing? You kind of feel sick, right? Have you guys ever done a cleanse? You know, even the fasting, that kind of stuff? Even ayahuasca? You're purging out all the toxicity within you, right? It's not a pleasant feeling. And so sometimes when someone comes through your reality field and you interact with them, they might have that same effect upon you. And you might interpret them as being toxic when in fact you were the toxic one and they were more of the cleansing agent, the catalyst. And that higher vibe is not really congruent with your lower shit. And so there's going to be something there. And that's something to consider, because I haven't heard anyone say anything of that sort. It's more just reacting to the reactionary commentary of, oh, toxic masculinity and la and la and lu. And, you know, like, can you guys synthesize whatever the fuck is going on objectively and come to some kind of solution? And for some kind of philosophical common ground that's based in reality, objective reality, morality, and all these things? You know, like, it's just the back and forth polarizations of shit, you know. Oh, the toxic man, toxic female, toxic, yeah. Who's got the remedy, folks? Like, what the fuck? You know, I hear this word being, you know, set out from quote-unquote spiritual people as well. Do you guys understand the fucking grammar? Can you articulate something a little bit better than that? Can you actually offer a bridge, or, you know, be somewhat of, you know, actually trying to help someone, not just point the finger like, yeah. And then what the fuck happens after that? You think you actually accomplished something because you're talking shit to someone? Oh, Pelican. So what do we got when you use the word toxic masculinity? What are you applying that to? Are you talking about like the manspreading? Are you mansplaining? Or is it actual unaligned shitty male behavior? You know, unaligned to morality, natural law. And you know, there are the components of the pillars of enlightenment, the sacred masculine, sacred feminine that we can have within ourselves, these archetypes of consciousness, with the feminine being the non-aggressive, non-violent principle. And with men, it's the self-defense principle, right? So, do no harm, a la feminine, but take no shit via the masculine. If we all do that and respect other people's free will, you know, we would be detoxifying a lot of bullshit out there, you know, so why does it seem sadly ironic that, especially in the fucking TikTok realm and lamestream media, when you hear people use throughout the word, oh, this is toxic, whatever the fuck, usually it's coming from someone who is toxic themselves. And makes you think, like, are they just projecting their own toxicity onto their perception of things, whatever the fuck, you know? Things to consider, and yeah. Gotta love these otters. This is Morro Bay, by the way, Southern California, near San Luis Obispo. It ain't all abysmal, as some people say. Oh, Californians are so toxic. They just move into these other places and spread their communist ideals around and this and that. I can see some of that, but I see a fuck ton of overgeneralizations within that. So, again, there's too many logical fallacies that people are committing, and it's just splitting relations and just proper communications between people. Like, guess what? You don't really fucking know a lot of people that you're accusing whatever the fuck on, I'm not saying, oh, take extra time to get to know these people. It might not be worth it, whatever. And I know people ain't got the fucking time to even watch a fucking 3-minute video sometimes. But, do you have patience? Do you have temperance? Do you have compassion? Open mind, open heart, open fucking ears? And a closed fucking mouth? Because people need to shut the fuck up a little bit more? And not over-assume things? Assume? You want to make an ass out of you and me? No, I don't think so, mon ami. Right? So, instead of just, commentating on all the fucked up shit, flip the script and be the change you want to see in the fucking world. Be a way shower, lead by example, and yeah, we shouldn't condone toxic behavior for sure. And there are ways and approaches to correct that or hold people accountable without it, escalating worse than it was before. You know what I mean? So think about it and watch what the fuck you say on social media, Anyways, take care out there, y'all. And yeah, please feel free to take a detox, It'll help clear your mind and all these things. And if you do the proper inner works within yourself,
Yo, the flow is type sick, toxic to some at Mach 6 speeds. Into your eardrums in plain English till you bleed. An image symphony with syllables as crash cymbals, horns and string sections. Bass and hi-hats would swing down to perfection. A jazz collective, I surpass selective hearing, piercing in the minds with the fierce sting of rhymes written in eclectic context. Punchlines for contests too complex. Conduct tests on the consequence of conscious lyrics. I'm confident in a cappella. The melodies I breed don't heed the rhythm, feeding you serum to detox that beatbox. See clocks of 1, 3, and 2, 4 tempos get used for.
So, in conclusion, right? I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea. Like, I'm not denying the fact that there are toxic people out there. Yes, indeed, for sure. I just don't like this kind of like newspeak or watered down or over usage of the word, where it just becomes watered down because people are using it for the slightest fucking thing. You can see that. You could give tons of examples for many other words. I hope y'all know where I'm coming from with that, right? So it's like people say the word so much and it becomes played out, right? So and does it make sense to be, speaking to people either online or directly and saying, "Oh, you're toxic," and this and that, and you're kind of like writing them off? Like what I was trying to get at is, like, if you're gonna say those things, like, whatever, as long as, like, your free will fucking choice. This is just my advice and my take on it. But if you're looking to, especially if you're talking about like toxic friends, and you're like gonna say that, it's kind of like writing them off. When wouldn't you want to, you know, come to some kind of mutual understandings and clear out the fucking bullshit and carry on and even have a better friendship because you've overcome that type of adversity, you know what I mean? That can make those bonds even stronger, right? It all depends if it's all worth it, right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who the fuck you know and all that, who you be hanging out with, but yeah. I mean, you just see all this shit on TikTok and like, it just gives a bad impression for especially young people's perception of thinking that, caught up in the whole dualistic stuff. Like this person's either toxic or not type of thing. And yeah, anyways. So yeah, it just seems like one of these words. I don't recall hearing this word being used much at all, like over a decade ago, type of thing. It's just like one of those words that are being popularized through the TikTok talkification, thanks to the younger generations and whatever the fuck. I don't know, but I do get quite a whiff of this pop psychology type of notion behind it, and even kind of glazed over a video or two. And yeah, they make some valid points. Yet it's like there's so many different words you can use besides toxic, and it means the same fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like, think about it, and think about the type of information you're consuming and the food you're consuming. Is some of that shit toxic? Like disinformation, misinformation, all that shit, right? So a lot of shit to consider as far as allowing yourself to become toxified in a sense, right? Then your vision gets a little blurry and the mind haze and whatever, right? So think about it. But yes, we do need to consider people that are actually truly fucking toxic. And it's more like that, like let's say you're toxified, like you're sick, whatever, right? You're going to be kind of under the weather for umpteen amount of hours, days, whatever, right? Uh, so it's draining your energy. And what drains energy in regards to psychologically, other people around you, and that kind of stuff? And this word is being thrown out quite a bit too easily as well. And it's been watered down, but narcissist, you know, you check out the works of Maya West. She talks about NSPs, the narcissist, sociopath, and psychopath. They share a lot of traits and stuff. And yes, sometimes we can have behaviors that fall in line with some of these attributes. It doesn't mean that they're automatically a fucking narcissist or they're automatically toxic. Wow, they showed a little toxic behavior. If they, you know, kind of recognize that and reconciled it, then they're not a toxic fucking person. Get over it and, be more encouraging for people to, correct themselves and be a better fucking human being. You know what I mean? That's basically the gist of like why I feel people just like throwing out these terms. It doesn't, it vilifies them and, kind of makes them possibly be resentful or discouraged to change their ways or whatever. But yeah, there is ways to like shame bad behaviors, to kind of put that mirror to make them realize like they're acting a fucking fool and they need to change that shit. But throwing out stuff, these accusations, especially when you're not using the proper articulate, accurate grammar for some of this shit. If you're exaggerating your shit, like people ain't gonna fucking take you seriously, right? So that's why I'm trying to like keep this shit balanced a little bit. So yeah, be wary of the parasites and the vampires, psychic vampires, and that kind of shit, or even real ones. Who fucking knows? They don't have a reflection in the mirror, so it's hard for you to put that up to their face for them to recognize and realize that shit. So things to consider. Um, and there's ways to just be a good example. and this goes into like more the divine masculine. Yeah, Cynthia, geez, I forget her last name, but Affirm Life Daily, she put out a great little video on Instagram talking about this exact thing, and I was inspired, and I was like, fuck yeah, you go. Cynthia Mitchell, yeah, for sure. I was on her show, it was so great. She was talking about, the toxic masculine is going to be in the realm of wanting to control and all this stuff. And this goes back into ancient shit. We can even talk about fucking like the Metatronic reversals with this shit. But keep it on the 3D level, keep it simple, right? Toxic masculinity, over control and all this stuff. Sacred masculinity is, leading by example. But yes, sometimes with that, self-defense, you do need to take control, especially in group dynamics where these people entrust in you and you gotta sequester them from danger, whatever, all these things, right? I'm thinking more like medieval times. I have like Lord of the Rings in my head, but you know what I mean. Just look at the archetype of Aragorn or Gandalf or even Samwise. No Frodo. No, just kidding. Yeah, we could throw him in the mix too. Fuck it, why not? It's just like that hero's journey, and women have this in their human evolution as well. It's not just like we look at the hero as this masculine person, and the hero's journey is more like this coming into being and being a better person and evolving as a human being, that kind of stuff. Look into the works of Joseph Campbell and yada yada. You can even check out Europa Natural Law, because I did a really cool live stream roundtable discussion with some folks from the UK, from Germany. Was Oscar there? If he was, Denmark, and yeah, it was good shit. I guess that's all. I keep rambling on. What's going on? And what are people looking at with these hermetically sealed reels? Check out this website, nattylaw.com. I'll be doing a couple videos to explain more and showcase some of these shorts that I've done, last spring, 2024. Year of the Wooden Dragon, yo. So I really got this shit cracking. Take care out there. Thank you.
As vocalists, we got to be prepared to teach the scared ones. Beat them snare drums and monotonous bass lines. Don't waste time, focus and shine where light's been shed. The blind just flock to it. That's why the industry polluted the waters, distorted the sound. To keep us short of the mark, it's time to explore the dark for the lost rhythms. Subcons on the mission for something they can't imprison with money. Peace to true MCs, stay hunting for the true lyricists. Ease back, peace, relax. It's time to open up the captions, so I'm stating my biz, releasing a fraction of new style for 2000 and beyond. Word is born, word is life, word Christ, the zeitgeist, spirit of my culture, sight beyond the ultraviolet violence. Hear the movement, see the silence. Peace.